This episode of Derapy is brought to you by Owl Soapery. Like the video.
Derapy.
So yesterday, my wife and I went to go see a movie called The Ballerina. Actually, there's probably no the. I'm pretty sure it's just Ballerina. So you would be shocked to discover, based on the title, that it was actually one of the more violent movies I have ever seen in my life. But that is because it's in the John Wick universe. John Wick, played by Keanu Reeves, is the protagonist of 4 films where he is basically the GOAT of killing, snatching souls. He's like the Master Chief from Halo.
Slayer.
But he's like Captain America also, but like with guns. He has like Spider-Man reaction time. He has like Hawkeye accuracy, Batman like prep, Superman like stamina. It's absurd. He's basically a superhero, but he's like not nice. He kills so many people. He's the boogeyman, but he can't rap. And he's tall. But basically, Ballerina is a movie set in the same universe, a world where there are many train killers and assassins all over. There are bounties on people's heads all over the world, and many of these assassins, these train killers, their job is to collect that bounty. But her story, our ballerina, her name is Eve. She is similar to John Wick in the way that her story begins with the loss of a loved one. For John Wick, it was his dog. Her crash out fairly starts because her dad was killed in front of her for seemingly no reason at the jump. But she ends up being recruited by the same people that raised and trained John Wick. And basically, her life's mission is to find the people that killed her dad, killed them, a tale as old as time. So when it comes to evaluating this movie, the question is actually extremely simple. Does this movie live up to the John Wick films? And if I'm being completely honest, the answer is yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. And spoiler alert, John Wick is in the movie. Keanu Reeves produces the movie, and it's very obvious that they wanted to make sure that this fell right in line with the series. And frankly, coming out of the movie, I was like, I would watch an entire series based off of this universe because the action is crazy, the fight choreography is insane, the acting is like shockingly good. You know that a movie's acting is really great when you don't think about the quality of acting throughout the entire movie. It never really occurred to me while I was watching it yesterday to think about how well anybody was conveying emotion because it all seemed very believable. Now, one part of the movie that I do think is very interesting and I know is probably going to be like controversial because we live in like the worst possible time. The girl is small. Our protagonist, she is in fact woman, and she is going to go on a John Wick type killtrocity, killtacular, killionaire type killing spree, and many will wonder, well, John Wick is beating a lot of ass, but he is also a very large man. How is this woman, this small woman, going to do that? And I think the movie does a really good job of showing how she is able to compete, able to fight, able to be a really strong combat warrior, essentially. She is trained to, and this part of the movie I felt in the moment was a little bit cringe, fight like a girl. But basically, cheat if you need to. Gouge out eyes, kick people in the junk, use people's weight against them, fight on her terms. And I think that was a really good way to set up a lot of the fight scenes in the movie. She can't overpower people. She's told that she can't, so she doesn't try to. She tries to take advantage of other people's weaknesses. I will say that there are points in the film, especially towards the end of the film, where you really, as my wife constantly says, have to take your brain out of your head and just enjoy the film. Obviously, there are extraordinary feats of resilience and endurance, and it just seems like she has an invincible back. Like physically, like her back, she gets thrown into things, she gets thrown downstairs, she gets kicked, she gets punched. Just the sheer amount of combat that she's involved in a short period of time wouldn't make sense. Hell, it doesn't even make sense when John Wick's doing it, but it's just kind of baked into the cake. I will say when it comes to the overall plot, it's pretty straightforward. She loses her dad. She goes to the theater to train. At this school, at this theater where they're training ballerinas, obviously they're training fighters, assassins, how to protect and how to kill. How to save, how to kill. And that's like the two main things that they're teaching you there, how to protect and how to take lives. Pretty simple stuff. And within just a few months of her like actually getting the go ahead to go outside and do the things, complete the missions, accept the contracts, she's already like, all right, dog, I'm ready to find the people that killed my dad and fuck them up. She's told by the people that are training her, this is not a good look. We don't mess with those people. They don't mess with us. You know, the crazy cult-like folk with the X tattoo etched into their wrist that took her pops. Like, we don't mess with them. She obviously goes lone wolf on them. I do think that John Wick's appearance in the movie actually doesn't take too much away from it. I was worried that they were going to tease him, have him pop out once, and then he just wouldn't show up again. And I'd be like, that's kind of bait. This feels like false advertising. But I feel like he shows up just the right amount in the movie. There's also this really funny point, and huge spoiler. She is whooping ass. She is in this town where she has essentially found the guy that's responsible for killing her dad, and she's basically wiping out this entire town. It's absolutely insane. There's this twist also about her family that I don't feel like is important enough for me to drop that specific spoiler, but long story short, they're like, we don't know what to do with this girl. In this movie, they like to pretend like snipers don't exist, and when they do, for whatever reason, they never quite have a good shot on her, but that's besides the point. Take your brain out. She has plot armor. John Wick is sent to kill her at one point, and I do love how they do not try to pretend like she could beat John Wick in any way. In fact, while they're fighting, there are multiple points where he could have killed her, and he's like, hey, bro, just pack it up, go home, go back to the director. Like, you don't have to do this. Stop messing with these people. It's not worth it. And she's like, just give me till midnight. And he's like, all right, bro. I think that John Wick choosing not to kill this girl, even though he was contracted to, is actually somewhat within character because he kind of understands the plight. He was willing to do anything to get vengeance. So he tries to give her a little bit of time. But he's like, for the record, though, when midnight strikes, it's wraps for you. So ultimately, the movie ends kind of in a predictable way, but all in all, this universe, the way this movie is produced, it's bread and butter. These fight scenes, the violence, the choreography is off the charts. It's unlike any action movie I have ever seen that is not John Wick. I think that it does the series justice. It obviously sets up for a next movie, and I would watch that movie. I would watch a long series of shows that are based on this universe. I have essentially no complaints about the movie, except for the fact that, and my wife and I talked about this when we left the movie, there seems to be this perpetual cycle of violence because throughout the movie, right, she is basically trying to save this little girl from falling into the same fate that she did, that John Wick did, that many other kids do. They lose people, and then they turn to this life of violence where they become a trained killer, etc., etc. She thinks that she's saving this little girl from that same life, but in the process of trying to get her vengeance and kill the dude that killed her dad, she is killing so many people in this town that probably have kids that obviously don't really deserve to have their parents taken from them. It's just like she just pulled up to get vengeance on one dude and she wiped out probably like 60 to 100 people. Like, do you not realize that you're orphaning a ton of people that are going to end up like the girl that you're trying to save? My wife says that's probably just the point of the movie. I feel like that's something that should have been touched on. All in all, I don't really have a problem with any performances in the movie. It was extremely fun. Some of the scenes, oh my goodness, I can't even really talk about it without just like straight up spoiling it, but they're throwing grenades into people's mouths. They're using katanas, they're using flamethrowers, they're using rocket launchers. The way it feels like I'm watching an old school, like 1,000 Ways to Die type episode. It's wild. I would love to see it again. When it comes out, I'm definitely going to watch it again. I don't think there is any reason why someone who is into the John Wick movies wouldn't be into this movie, unless you're just being lame because it's a girl. Okay, that's all I got. I would give this movie, like, honestly, I'm feeling like a light 9 on it. Based on what I was expecting versus what I got, it exceeded expectations. I'm feeling like a light to decent 9. I think it lives up to the hype. I feel like the trailers do it justice. I love the inclusion of John Wick, but I also love how he doesn't really overshadow the protagonist of this film.
9.
I have pretty much nothing but good things to say about it. Go see the movie. Probably still in theaters. That's free promo. That's all I got for you. Love you. Mean it. Spread the bread. Please check out today's sponsor if you're trying to smell right, okay? They're sponsoring this show. They have very, very reasonable prices on their site. Check out that soap. It's all natural. Okay, me personally, I like soap that doesn't give you a rash. That's just me. Just check out the site. Just check it out. They're supporting me. Support them. Love you, mean it. Spread the bread. Enjoy the outro.
Cracking my windshield, I'm pissed off. If you a hater, get lost.
Get lost.
Yeah, it's my show and I'm in charge. Don't eat lemon pepper wings, but I'm the big boss. Please cut me slack, man, need a discount. About to jump off the roof, that's a dismount. I'm just playing. I'm okay.
Okay, but like, are you though?
Sorry for the pause, that's awkward. Start a podcast, cause I knew I was a talker. Yeah, my girl love me, but she's sick of my voice. And you know I'm pro-choice, so she do what she want. Why they hate when I get political? I'm a deep thinker, that's critical. Way too serious for a dude not getting paid. Man, I really need a shave. You know what sucks? Most of season 2 of Dave. Taking shots, but I skip out on the bar. Every single show, I swear I wanna raise the bar. Hope you listen close so you never miss the bar. Say the same thing, but I'm still going.